Cool.
What is one custom that you think is important in Colombia? Why, and describe that custom. Thank you.
The custom? Like, what do you mean?
Like laws.
Laws?
Custom, like what people usually are accustomed to do. Is that custom?
Like laws?
Oh, laws.
Yeah.
What is one custom that you think is important in Colombia? Oh.
The two is this one like maybe the two men on the bike?
Oh yeah.
What?
There's a law in Colombia that says that no two men can ride on a motorcycle at any time.
Why?
I know it sounds dumb, but like, it's actually good.
The background of this is that motorcycles are you can go on a motorcycle anywhere, no matter what the traffic is.
Mm-hmm.
You can go in between the cars, you can go on the sidewalk, so you can actually move through the traffic quickly. And in the 90s, the period of violence on the streets, a lot of people used to they did a lot of crime on motorcycles.
Oh,
So they would shoot somebody, or they would steal some from somebody, and this would have usually happened because one guy was riding, while the other one sitting in the back was actually the one doing the crime.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both doing the crime, but the guy in the back was hands-free, and so he could do a lot more. And so because of that, they prohibited by law. And so a woman can go in the back, but not two men on the same.
The thing is, though.
So now the women have actually learned to do the things that the men used to do in the back. And so now it's like...
Oh, yeah.
But it took 20 some years.
Oh.
So that law is no longer relevant anymore.
Yeah.
But it still is a law. And that's why it was so important in that period.
But I feel like it's still relevant because if they didn't have a law, I feel like it'd just be like the men would do it. Like it's like honestly, like if they took it away, it'd just be like back to the men.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's that. I think that's one.
What's the second one?
What is a law that they have in Colombia that's not in the United States?
Probably that one.
That one.
That one? Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you move from Colombia to Minnesota?
Oh, wow.
I
moved.
Okay. Oh yeah, you go ahead.
So Dana's, Leonardo's mom, my wife, she was in Colombia when we met, and this was in 1996. Not a very good period of time in Colombia for anyone. Seriously not. And when we met, we said, hey, we want to go out and travel the world. And so we said, well, Colombia is not an option to stay at this point. And mainly, it was even more because people from the U.S. were targeted in Colombia. And so there was not an option for us to stay there. And so there wasn't any other place for us to go where we could actually live and work in. And so we said, okay, well, let's try Minnesota. This is where she lived. She went to school here.
Oh.
So we said, okay.
Hamlin. She went to Hamlin.
Hamlin, yeah. So we came here. I came here. And that's why.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. How is living in Colombia different than living in Minnesota?
So they had to do a lot about the security and like not just that, but like because our family, like I don't particularly look that I'm really tall for them. Although some of my friends are really tall also, but like I stuck out and some of my brothers did also, and so it was just like for the security also it's like going out for example, here, if you wanted to go to the lake, for example, you take your bike and just go and you come back, right? But there aren't any lakes, but there are a few. We're in the middle of
Recording.
yeah, and no, yeah. So just be different because it's like living there is more restrictive because of the security, and then here's just it's open. So like the freeness of being like a kid here is so much more open and broad for like activities you do there. What else? What's different?
What is the difference
Between living in Colombia and
Colombia is different in many ways. I mean, culturally, Colombia people like to, how do I say this? You've noticed that here in the United States, it's you don't see people hugging it like a lot, right? I mean, unless you are with family and saying, "Hey, hello, how are you?" There is more like, "This is my friend. I'm gonna," so hugs and very very kind of like
a good gesture, like in Colombia, like for men usually like you just go up and you like hug them and all, and then if you're gonna go up to a woman, you have to like go up and then you have to kiss her on the cheek. Not like fully like kiss her, but like just like.
it's a greeting.
It's a greeting. It's like you just go.
So there's a lot of customs that are different.
And that's just like a good gesture you have to do like to teachers, to friends in your class, and in Argentina, I was saying Argentina, but like in Argentina, men do it to men also. It's not. But that's culturally, and also, what else would you say was different? Like
Living in general is different. How is it different?
I mean, transportation's different. It's there's not many highways or like straight roads there either. There's like you can take the airplane, but from where we lived in Cali to Bogota is like a 45-minute plane ride.
Yeah.
And then in car it's like what, 4 or 5?
10 hours.
10 hours. No, it's 10 hours. Okay.
Oh, because you have to go out.
Right. So it's
but
like
day-to-day life. Day-to-day life. The day-to-day life here is more fast-paced than Colombia. Colombia in general depends on the city, but generally speaking is a more slower pace. It's not slow, but it's slower. It's not as fast as it is here. So your life is a little bit more.
It's not laid back. It's like
it's not laid back, but it's more like, okay, this is the rhythm. So if we don't have to finish this up now, we don't have to. I mean, we don't. There's traffic that we have to deal with, and so in Colombia, and people's rhythm is different, and so things are kind of more relaxed.
And you said carts for transportation.
There's just regular bus transportation. There's what else? There's bicycle like taxi things, and then can I say something about the Uber and taxi thing or no? Well, yeah, okay. Well, let's just move on to the next question. I can tell you that at the end, actually.
All right. Would you prefer to live in Minnesota or Colombia, and why?
Well, I've been asked that question before. Honestly, I don't know, because in Colombia, I feel like it's just more. I think Colombia. Honestly, I think I would live in Colombia because it's just like the atmosphere is better. I feel like there's more. Food's really good. It can be cheaper, but that wasn't my concern at all. But I just liked it more because it was just a better atmosphere, and I kind of clicked with it maybe. Here it's different also because here you can go out more, and I did I go out, I went to a lot there also, but I felt like there it was more. It's different because living in Colombia, after living in the U.S. for years is different, so you might like it even more because it's something different. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of like, I'd rather live in Colombia though because there's more places to go and everything's more closer, I feel like, right? I mean, the U.S. might be close, but like...
Oh, it's a big country.
It's close. It is, yeah, it's a big country, but everything seems close, I feel like. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'd say that is...
Fairly...
The weather is... Depends what if you like, but the weather is not as hot as the south in the U.S. or humid. And it's not as cold as it is here in the winter. Here in the summer, it gets really humid. And so there's places in Colombia. Most of Colombia, you can just go and you have a really... you have a good temperature year-round, like between 65 and 85, 90. It's not humid at all.
No, it's like a plain. It's like hot. You feel the sun, but it's not like, oh my god.
The fruit is amazing. You have oceans within 2 hours time in car. You have amazing places like landscapes. You have the mountains. You have the ocean. You have all within 2 hours. It's like I'd say it's like a California in that sense. You can go to Lake Tahoe.
That's true.
Or you can go to the Sierra, or you can go down to the ocean, or you can go in the valley, and all this within 2 hours. So in that sense, it's a smaller country, of course. I don't know. I grew up there, so my mind is a little. What I miss about Colombia is how people relate to each other.
Yeah,
people relate to each other. There's a different spice.
There's more of a joking way. Even if it's serious, there's always like a bit of like a friendliness. There's not really a serious type.
No.
It's always joking. Like my classroom. I feel like if my classroom were here, people would take it so personally. But there, it's just cultural that you just like you dig and you laugh at it. And
So it's like everybody's friends.
Everyone's friends. Yeah. There's not really people that are like against each other. There's not really that much drama in high school either. There's not the cake. There can be if you want to, but like everyone's just worried about their things, like what they're gonna do after school. Like what are you gonna like? So. It's alright. If the drama happens, it's between the teachers and the kids. Like it's never between the kids. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What else? Was that good? Question? All? We answered all?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that question, did we answer?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might have answered the sixth one. Do you like American or Colombian lifestyle better?
Oh, I like Colombian lifestyle better. It's better. So I feel like it's more lively. I don't know. It's more lively. There's just more to. I feel like here it's like activities throughout the day are very separate. There it's kind of just fluid. It's like you go to school and you like mess around and you go home somehow and then you go to practice and then you come home and you eat and then you can go out again or do homework and then next day you get up and you walk out and you can go to school and then you can eat. You do your classes, and then classrooms are like outside. So basically, and there's like walls, but there aren't that many windows. There aren't any windows.
So it's California weather, so you can
so yeah, classrooms are outside basically.
Leave the windows open.
Your lunch is outside, basically, but like in like a.
Outside, and there's obviously the cafeteria that is open. It's like a bamboo kind of. For example, where we were. And obviously, there's places where you go to school and it's a building. Yeah. But where we lived is pretty much open.
Malls are open. Malls are like completely open. There's it's like Rodeo Drive basically. Not completely, but like the sense that it's outside and there's like no top to it. So you'll walk down, and there's just palm trees like. You can live stuff like that.
Yeah, you live with your windows open all the time. So no need to
There's no air conditioning either. We didn't have air conditioning. We had like marble floors. Was the house? Isn't it? Was it?
Yeah. No, I mean you don't need it because it's not humid.
Oh.
You don't need it. It gets hot in the sun, but when you're when you are in the shade.
I feel like the floors eat a lot though.
In the yeah,
It got
the
really
construction
cold.
the construction of course helps, but
Yeah.
but I think that it's so lifestyle in the U.S. I think there's obviously benefits to the lifestyle here. Here is more like you said, is you can go out and you don't have to worry about somebody taking your phone.
Oh, that's a big thing.
You're taking your phone. Now you go to Chicago in some areas, in New York, Chicago, LA, and they're gonna do the same.
Thing. It's the same.
There's a lot of crime. There's a lot of people will take your phone from you on the street, or will steal your car from your car. So it depends where you go. But
That's what made it more likely.
The lifestyle.
You're not on the street on your phone. You're not distracted. Like
yeah, that's true.
You're out and about. And you're seeing everyone move around, and it's more like.
But I guess the freedoms here are when it comes to it's pretty safe here, generally speaking. You can just take your car and go anywhere you want and just come back, and you can. There is time that is not spent in the traffic, so things kind of flow a little bit faster here, and so because of that, I think people are more individual. Like individualistic, like I'm gonna go to the gym and I can be alone and I can. There is more like, what are you gonna do? Like in Colombia, it's more of a group. Like, what are you gonna do? Okay, let's meet at the club or let's meet at the gym, and plans change a lot. So you can jump on the car and say, let's just go and do the gym. So you call the other, hey, I'm gonna go to the gym and let's do this tomorrow. Okay, fine. And so people get more.
More relaxed.
As a group, it's more not so much individualistic.
Set plans. For example, everyone's very flexible.
Yeah. So the lifestyle.
Yeah, like time. If you have for example, this is it. If you have a party at like 7:00, people will get there at like 9. Oh, like everyone will get there. Not like people won't just trickle in. People will, like all show up at 9 instead of 7. So. Yeah, it's just really back. That's all for that.
Do you want water? Anything to drink?
I got water.
There you go.
You're gonna eat something?
No. Oh yeah. Yeah. What's the next one?
What is your favorite value or thing about your culture?
Probably the free being and like openness of everyone. I think, right? I mean, yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that's.
Comparing your culture to other cultures, what knowledge or skills does your culture have that other cultures aren't as good at?
In Colombia or here?
Just like your culture in general. Like, how are the skills and the knowledge from your culture different from other cultures?
I think I can tell you my perspective. What do you say?
Well, I don't know. You go first. I don't know. Well, actually, no. Here, I don't know. There's like knowledge within the culture. Kind of it's like the knowledge is kind of it's dependent on like where you live, where they live, where we live. Also, like in Colombia, it's like kind of the location, the geographic type area. So it's kind of like. That's really influential in the culture, I feel like, because there's like also like the history behind the country and how what am I trying to say? I don't know. What do you say? What do you think? I feel like I say it's like more of like the land and like how the land's like. I don't know.
What is the question here? What kind
of? Comparing your culture to other cultures. What knowledge or skills does your culture have that other cultures aren't as good at?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure there's other cultures that are as good as.
Or to your knowledge.
Salsa.
I would say that one skill that we are good at in Colombia that I think other countries may have as well, in other ways, is that. And I'm gonna talk about it competitively, like comparing the what you have here, for example, or other cultures in other countries that are similar to the U.S. In Colombia, there's a lot of people who don't have a lot of things, and they have to figure out a way to carry their daily activities without so much technology or resources. And by that I mean, and so
you have a
and so people are very crafty when it comes to fixing things, for example. So one of the things that I can tell we're good at in Colombia is at trying to figure out other ways to invent something, do something that is that
Are you this?
that don't require a lot of money or capital, because there isn't a lot of capital and money available to in the country. Different than here or Europe or Asia, for example, in China or in Japan. And so that forces or creates in people that sort of resourcefulness. And you can, and there's a lot of examples there that I'm just amazed how much people just do with very little.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just that.
No, I know. Like even the most simplest like idea, like I know that like tire repair, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going to like a what do you mean like a name brand shoe, like not name brand like tire repair, like I don't know, what's it called?
I can tell you the example. Sorry, just that's a good one.
No, yeah.
I once rented a car.
Head of mine. I was talking about head of mine. The one time we went to repair his tire after.
Yes, that's the one. So I
Oh yeah.
So I was on a trip in a car, and the car, we had a flat tire, and we couldn't take the tire out. We couldn't take the wheel out. We couldn't change this for the spare because the knobs, the screws, were sort of they wouldn't come out. They were something was wrong with it. So I drove to the next town. This was in the middle of nowhere, so I drove to the next town with the flat tire. So the tire was just completely gone by the time I got to this place. And I said to the guy, "Hey, look, do you repair tires?" He goes, "Yeah, I mean, I can do," but this was not like a shop like J&J Tire or Amigos or
or like any like Shell or like
anything upscale that you see on Nicollet Avenue, for example, or Lindale. No, not like that. It's just a little.
It's like imagine a small corner store.
But small.
But like
nothing fancy. Just
like,
a bunch of tires inside with like an
oh,
iron.
like Hamundi. Remember that one we passed in Hamundi?
Yeah.
There was like a small town outside of where we lived, and it's like the main road you go through to get into the town. We passed by this like small. It's called a taller, right?
Yeah.
And they have multiple like they have like rims that you can buy because people like who's like decking out their
Might
cars
not be
sometimes.
as big as this kitchen. That's it.
It's smaller,
That's
yeah,
the
but like
store.
they even have like their tires like mount like stacked and like outside by like roadside. So when people go by like, oh yeah, so you have like these signs on top, but it's like all outside the store because inside the shop is where they like repair your car.
Okay, so so this guy looks at the car and says, "Okay, I can take care of it." I said, "Yeah, but there's a trick. You can't take the wheel. You can take the tire out. You have to change the tire with the wheel on while the car is up, like on a jack on a car jack."
Yeah.
So imagine I tell this to somebody here. Say, dude, you gotta change it. You can take the wheel out. How do you do that?
First of all, I think they would like.
They did it with, and I'm not kidding. They did it with 3 things, very very simply. Nothing like fancy. Hammer, some like
A tube.
But they had a steel bar, like a bar. 2 of those and that's it. That's how they changed it. They lifted the car was up, wheel on, took the old tire out.
With the bar, right?
With the bar, put the new one. It was just like, it's easy if I say it like this. Because now you know, but I guarantee you that I show up with a car like that to J&J Tire or Amigo or Lube Service, whatever that is. So look, man, they're gonna laugh at me like, no, I cannot do it.
Not even that. They'll ask you to to replace the whole rail that attaches the tire. Yeah.
The whole rim, the whole thing. They're gonna go like, no, you can't do it, dude.
No, they ask for a higher price because.
So that's the thing. That's the skill that I think is. You gotta think outside of the box, and you think a lot of the outside of the box, and because of that, we end up developing skills that otherwise would not be.
And it's cheap. It's cheaper. It's so cheap. Yeah.
Sorry, long.
Well, fast food restaurants are even cheaper. Lunches. What is it called? The corrientazo. Like that. It's like a typical. Lunch for someone, and it's big and it's fills you up. But it's how much is $2. But it's for a plate this big of beans, rice, plantains. What else? Sopa.
People have to be very resourceful to make money.
Yeah.
And therefore they have to.
No, it's good.
Creative.
It's like a corner store thing, and people go in, eat. It's like a restaurant, but it's on a corner, and then people eat after work or at lunch, and then they go back. But yeah, so what else?
Is the clothing style in Colombia different than what it is in Minnesota? If so, how are they different or similar?
I think yes. So I because I did notice this a lot. There's there's a big difference on what people wear, and I feel it has to do with class sometimes. I feel it, right? There's there's a way that soccer players dress, and there's a way that people that
so it's different groups.
University students go, right? The university students dress the same and just alike, and then same with the soccer kids or soccer professionals, and then just regular people on the street, and for example, the soccer players and the soccer kids that want to actually wear jeans for example, ripped jeans, or some jeans you'd find at Gap or something, not Gap, but some really bleached jeans with a simple graphic tee with a hat, and then some Adidas shoes or something like that. That's how most people.
Yeah, I think we don't wear a lot of jackets. No jackets. In some cities you wear some scarves and sweaters. No boots. Obviously no snow boots or heavy boots.
Well, you see a lot of people walking everywhere and taking bus and trains, so people have comfortable shoes.
Yeah.
So that's one thing.
So imagine that they dress like we dress here in the summer or beginning of the fall.
Oh.
That's pretty much it. No, nothing else.
Oh.
No, not any jackets.
Very light colors, light clothing, local and imports. A lot of brands as well. So there's a lot of brands, which is exactly the same thing as Nike, Adidas, or
a lot of Hollister, Abercrombie, Polo.
Yeah.
But that's all stuff that's sold very cheap, so people can buy it. And it's gonna be fine. Everyone wears that.
Some of the clothing that is sold here is made in Colombia or other countries, and so
it's overstock, isn't it?
right, and so they sell the excess locally.
Oh.
Under a different brand or
an off-brand, yeah.
Or a brand, so it's the same quality, same shirt, but it's different. Says something different.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's made from the same factory, so it's not like it's off-brand because it's honestly the same fabric and use. Say, yeah.
Are there any rituals or traditions that you follow as a Colombian?
I know. Luis Patricia goes to la iglesia a lot.
Rituals, yeah,
really
but we
ritual.
don't. That we do.
Oh yeah. I mean, you used to.
There's things that we are celebrate probably differently.
That. A lot of
Like the New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
There's a big party at home. There's different things that we do.
Christmas, you open gifts at midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other rituals?
Well, I mean, you can talk about a little bit about the holidays.
The
Holidays.
holidays.
So holidays, so many holidays.
Yeah.
Unnecessary holidays also. Yeah, no, there's so many like March holidays that we get off, that everyone gets off.
But I would say there's a few. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, like New Year's Eve, we make a big meal, invite friends and family. We have things that we do when it hits like midnight. There's some rituals that we do this for fun. So we go out and some of us we run out around the block with suitcases.
Oh yeah.
To wish that hey, in the next year I'm gonna travel a lot. It's like an intention. You also wear some kind of like yellow underwear upside, like at the.
On the outside of your clothes?
On the outside of your clothes or inside, and then you go and like. What else you do?
I don't know.
You eat like.
Grapes? No.
Grapes is another ritual. There's things that small, but things that we do just for the fun of it.
Oh.
What else? That's it.
Alright. What is the food like in Colombia compared to America?
Well, in the U.S. in the United States you have a lot of cultures. So food from different. You have the Chinese, you have Malaysian, you have Thai, you have European, you have South American, you have from here, from the States. So it's everywhere. In Colombia, it's more like there's not as much in that sense difference. Variety. But there is a lot of, let's see. We use a lot of soups, potatoes, veggies in the soup. I think it's pretty much the same. It's just prepared in a different way.
Oh yeah.
Chimichurri.
Oh yeah.
Steaks.
I feel like it's
chicken,
like
rice.
Like a breakfast. Usually it's like arepa.
Yeah, corn. It's a corn tortilla, but thicker one than the Mexican. And then we put like an egg, or we put some tomato with.
You put cheese in it sometimes.
Cheese.
You can put like
hot chocolate.
Usually you have
fresh squeezed orange juice. Fresh. This is like somebody does it like at home in the restaurant.
Oh, it's so good. Oh my gosh.
Or tangerine juice. There's a lot of. So it is good. I think I wouldn't say it's totally different from it, but it seems like we there in Colombia, we take a little bit more time to prepare our meals than people do here on a daily basis.
Yeah.
We do. We take a lot of time here to make our own meals, which is something that is not normal, right?
No.
Most families that here is in the U.S., they just, like, you have a sandwich, just put some, okay, that's my lunch. And I look at like, no, really?
Yeah,
that's your
yeah.
lunch? I mean, fine, it's your lunch, but we make a meal. We make a
when
big
your mom
meal.
was here over the summer.
Every day, yeah.
My grandma was here over the summer, and she would start making lunch at like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And you need to start early so you get.
Tell
done
me
what
what lunch is.
Lunches, well,
Why not?
it's different because you can you can get like soups. I mean, a usual lunch, because I remember having school lunch in school. Like, it's not just like some like really like crappy lunch, but like, it's like it's decent and it's like very cheap. It's like $3 and you get soup, rice, beans, meat, yeah, and then you get like a dessert and some fresh squeezed like juice, and breakfasts are eggs and like the corn cake, and then dinners are kind of just relaxed, right?
Yeah, dinner is slow.
Dinner's low because you ate a lot. Yeah.
You don't want to eat too much.
Yeah, you know, there's no one really gets snacks. No, there's not many snacks. Unless you, because in the morning you can also, there's many pastries. Not really pastries, but like small, like empanadas, for example. And then there's different like types of like sweets you can buy in the morning, but they all sell out after a while.
Do they have like Doritos there?
Yeah. No, they have like McDonald's. They have all like the mainstream, like.
And local.
And locally. Oh no, yeah, the locals are what's that one place? Corral. Yeah. It's like a burger, not a Burger King. It kind of is. It's like a better Burger King.
I will send you a link of a place in Bogota. The description of it by somebody from here who was there. It's called Andres Carne de Res, and I think it will help in your project. You read it and you get the idea of what we are saying, described by somebody from here who was down there and had a really nice time.
It's one of my favorite restaurants there.
Do you bike?
I don't like biking, but I'll do it.
Yeah, there's another guy. There's five Germans that travel to Colombia, and they are road bikers, like cycling. And they took a 5-day trip in Colombia, and it also shows the good and the bad and the everything. And it's a really cool video as well. I don't know.
We're gonna explain a candidate. Andres candidate.
Oh, really good. How many more?
How many more?
About 11.
Okay. What else is next?
Do you follow any religion from Colombia that you still do here in Minnesota?
No.
Is there anything you don't like about Colombian culture?
I don't like about Colombian culture.
No.
I would say that the one thing that I have enjoyed a lot more here is that any project that you want to have in your life and you want to go with it, it takes less time to do it here than in Colombia. It's part of, but I don't know.
No, you make the point.
Yeah, I don't know that it is something related to the culture, but it's one thing that I didn't like about Colombia, and mainly because I grew up in a German school. I lived in Germany as well, so I was used to like moving a little bit quicker. And so one of the things that I didn't like about Colombia was that it's like takes for people to like, okay, let's do this. Yeah, okay, well, we're gonna do it, and then nobody moves.
Yeah.
I don't like that. What else? No, I don't think it's anything.
Especially for your business, the businesses like your business, like that's what happened. That's what you didn't like.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
You were frustrated with them.
Yeah.
What is a favorite memory you have from your time in Colombia?
Man, I don't. There's so many, and I could go on for like hours telling you about them. But dude, oh my gosh, so many. Well, we took a trip up east to the east. Not the north, up north to the coast, and we visited these 3 cities up there that were on the like right on the ocean front, and we stay in this one called Cartagena, which is like a historic town, or not town but a city, where they have like old, like the antique like buildings still there, and so it's like a whole. That's like it's an enclosed, right? It's an enclosed city. With like from like, I don't. You explained it better, but I don't know what the whole history is. But they're like, they built a wall to the city because they didn't want to be like it was like a protection thing back then. Yeah.
The Spanish built a walled city because that place was where they collected all the gold from South America before they shipped it to Spain. Mm-hmm. And so the pirates, the English pirates, they knew about it, and so they constantly were planning attacks and to steal the gold. Oh. Or they would steal the from the ships that were leaving the port to Spain. And so they built this castle and this walled city, and that's the city that Leonardo was talking about.
You'd walk through and it's like it feels like Europe, like completely very narrow streets. But it's like it was amazing because we there are islands you can go up to, so we took boats up to islands and we went scuba diving. That was one of them. That was one really nice. There's also natural hot springs up in the mountains. We went up there and we can like swim in like super hot water up in like 40-degree weather. So that was amazing. I'm probably forgetting one. There's also a soccer game we went to, national the national soccer team was playing against Uruguay in their stadium and in the Colombian stadium. That was amazing also. So yeah, I don't know.
That's it, huh?
Also going to my friend's house and like just being able to like take in the culture and how they live and all, and like see how they like go day to day was really cool. He lives in he lived in like a rough town with Jose. His mom did. But they lived in like I don't know how they're not houses. They're like, what are they called?
I don't know.
It's like, it's obviously better than Silhouette and everything, but like they're like that type of house, which is like not slums, but
no, it was a different spot of the city.
It was like under constructed houses.
Oh,
kind of. But yeah, that was fun. That's it. Yeah.
What sport would you say is the most popular in Colombia?
Soccer, definitely.
Soccer.
Yeah, soccer, yeah. Soccer is definitely. Oh my gosh, everywhere they have. You'll see like basketball courts everywhere here, right? There you'll see soccer, like mini soccer fields or like big soccer fields, like in between, like the margin of two roads. For example, right? Like in Barranquilla, they have two really busy streets, but in the middle they have like a little soccer field enclosed by a fence and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely soccer.
What are some of the festivals that you have been to in Colombia?
Festival. We were going to go to the festival, like the Feria, right? And it's like a huge festival they do that's like really well known. But we weren't able to go because we were in Peru.
It's 2 weeks of dancing, salsa dancing on the streets, in places around the city. They have a carnival that goes through one of the main avenues in the city. So like a mini Rio Carnival, like in Brazil. People from everywhere around the world just go for 2 weeks and stay there. Like they want to see this.
So it's like Coachella.
But like more cultural, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever gone to the Manizales Fair before? If so, what was it like?
I have not been to that one. But the same fair, the fair that we described in Cali, it has the same theme.
Oh.
So
No, that is
You have-
super close to Cali.
you have a bullfighting season for 2 weeks or a week, and then people go there, then go and go to restaurants, and then they go dancing, they go to parties, they go to carnivals on the streets. So it's the same. So actually, the one in Cali finishes, and the one in Manizales takes off after that.
Oh. Yeah.
So it's one after another.
Oh. Yeah. Have you ever gone to the Biennial Bogota International Theater Festival?
I have. When I lived there, yes. Yeah, I lived in Bogota, and that place has an Iberoamericano, Festival Iberoamericano de Teatro. It's amazing. It's really on the street. People acting on the street like theater.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really well known around the world. And yeah, it's in Bogota, which is the capital. Big city, a lot of people.
Big, really
Very
big city.
international. Yeah, it's amazing. You just walk and there's an agenda, there's a schedule, you choose, okay, I want to go here, I want to go there. And you buy tickets and go, or some of them are free.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah. Have you gone to the Carnival of Blacks and Whites in Pasto?
I have not. But
I've never been past.
so they paint their faces, and that's the thing here. I have seen politicians, I've heard of politicians, the Canadian Prime Minister, for example, when he painted his face and his skin, he's painted his... Alright, in Colombia we have a different understanding of... So people paint their faces white or black, or they throw flour as well. They throw them like flour to each other, and it's just a way of, hey, like, let's just reunite and have fun and yeah. So I have not been to that one, but I know about it.
Oh. Are there any other languages people speak in Colombia besides Spanish?
Oh yeah, native,
Yeah.
the native indigenous language.
Oh.
How many? I have no idea because
There could be more.
there's a lot of them. The Amazons and the mountains. There's a small town, so there's a population in up north, Arhuacos. There's Guayus as well. And so there's different, yeah.
Oh. What part of Colombia did you live, and was it different than other places in Colombia?
Yeah. Whoa. We lived in like a. I don't know. It's not one. It wasn't a suburb. It wasn't a suburb. It was more like. Ponce. We lived in Ponce. Is that the question? Yeah. It is. It was really. We lived in a more like wealthier area, I guess. Wealthier area, which was nice, but I think it'd be nice. It'd be awesome to grow up where you grew up. But
More city-like, yeah.
yeah, no, it's more city. We lived more out further. Like I don't know, like an hour away from the centro, or less.
40
Yeah,
minutes,
40 minutes from the
Downtown.
center downtown. But like hearing that seems like, oh my gosh, that's super far. It's like Wisconsin for me. It's actually, it's not. Like it's just the traffic and the way the roads are set up and all that. But that was super different because it's more like separated, and also the households are all condensed into like little sections. So it's called conjunto, which is like maybe 4 to like, it could be like
A gated community.
of multiple houses all in like a gay community, yeah, with like a doorman and security everywhere, like tall walls. So like if you drive around the area we lived in, you wouldn't see any houses because they would be all walled off, and so it would be that interesting. So it's like going down a street with walls, and you see like the trees and everything in the mountains probably. But more when you get in the city, it's more houses that are like stuck together. So because like lack of space, and they have fences, tall fences in front of their houses. Not fences, but more of like bars in front of their houses.
For safety.
Yeah, for safety. But they're not covered at the top, so people could obviously go over. But if you want, I think I heard this one time. If you want them fully covered, you have to pay more taxes because, right? Is that right?
Oh yeah, probably.
You have to pay more taxes because you're like, I don't know. You added more bars to your, but that's how it was compared to the place we lived in. And then there's also like the hillsides where there's like it's interesting because the same hillside or some like there's a hillside where there's like a big part of like what is it called? What is it called? Siloe. What's Siloe?
It's another neighborhood.
It's like a neighborhood, but really low income neighborhood.
Yeah.
Although it has a lot of like it's very interesting because then like the houses are very original and like kind of shows who the people are, like who each one is, because they built them themselves, right? Yeah. And then, but it's also bad because then there's like landslides that like take everything down. That actually happened one time, didn't it? Money Sides.
Yeah.
Money Sides, don't it? Happened in Money Sides when we were there. And then on like a few hills down, because there's like hills, taller hills, and there's mountains. But on the other side, there are like really expensive houses like on the hills, but more separated.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they're like not in like a gated community. They're more individual. So there's a rapper that has a house there, and he drove his also having really nice cars draws like a lot of attention. So there's this rapper that had even more in Colombia because oh my gosh, no one has that type of car. But he drove his like gold Lamborghini through the streets. Just everyone knew because like no one else has a gold Lamborghini except for him in Colombia. And so he drove that around and like. But I remember like being at school and hearing like oh my god. And he would just like zoom past and. He probably got so many tickets then with the cameras. They also have cameras up.
Traffic cameras.
Nice. Speed. So yeah, that's the differences between.
Maybe there's other questions about traffic.
Yeah.
What was your process coming over to America, and did you have to get a green card, or was the process hard?
Yeah, it takes long. I had to. What was it? I had to wait a year. I went through the interview. It's a long process, and a lot of questions. And then once I had the resident card, I waited like I don't know. I think it was 3. I think I waited more than that. I think I waited 12 years to become a citizen.
Jeez.
By choice. I could have become a citizen in 2001 or something. And I just like, just wait. Then 2010 I was, 2011 actually. I was okay, fine.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't even know we didn't know if we were gonna live here.
Oh, that's
so
true.
we said, okay, we're here. So okay, let's just do it. But
Well, you got the. You married mommy, so didn't you just get the citizenship or no?
no.
Okay. Yeah. What else? I mean,
Did you? Oh wait, you were born in New York, right?
Yeah.
Do they have a green card or whatever to be able to live in Colombia?
Yeah, you need a residence card.
Oh.
You ask for permission. They give you a 3-year or a 5-year. And then you can apply for citizenship if you want to.
Oh.
So we're gonna do that for Leo. Soon. We have to do that soon. So he has 2 passports.
That's all.
All right.